Today I'm going to paint a dragonfly in a transparent, bright style. Hi friends, I'm Olga Koelsch, watercolor artist, teacher and a book author. Welcome to my studio. I want to place my dragonfly not straight, a little bit to the side for more dynamic. I will start with the body line, then a head, a little bit of the body itself. I just need to grab the main features. So very long body part with the tail, or how it is called. And to paint it correct, let's first of all draw lines for the wings. Now to achieve transparency effect, we need to overlap a little bit the wings, which is maybe not exactly as at the reference, but for artistic purposes we will make it. So first of all, let's draw one wing and then let's measure. They should be symmetrical. And so try to repeat the shape. And then instead of drawing like this, we will slightly overlap the wings and make sure that wings, bottom one a little bit shorter than the top one, and then create a nice edge, and then the second one. Now let's remove the... For painting I will use different shades of turquoise, green, blue. So I glaze with water the upper wings. Like this, I try to distribute water evenly without leaving puddles. And I'm not touching the body, just the wings and just the upper wings. Then I prepare my diluted mix of turquoise. What is phthalo turquoise? Very beautiful color. If you don't have exactly this one, you can mix phthalo green with phthalo blue. Will be about the same. Now, while my paper is still wet, I start to create beautiful wash. It should be pretty transparent, pretty light, so make sure you are not painting too bold now, and try to paint both wings at the same time, so that will help you to keep the symmetry. And of course it's a little bit boring to paint just with one color, so I will add cobalt blue right here. I have also turquoise cobalt, which I'm looking forward to test. It looks awesome and bright, something like this. So I basically work with the tip of my brush around the edges of the wings. You can add a couple of bolder details, and it's handy to use two brushes so you can work with different colors at the same time. For example, touches of blue would be nice. And if you see some puddles, you wash your brush, dry it with a paper towel, and use your brush as a sponge. You can also move a little bit the paints according to how you like it, according to how you envision it. I have some violet. I will add them at the top. Usually the tops of the wings, they're a little bit thicker than the bottoms, so I can bravely add a little bit more of purple into that. It looks just beautiful. I think the very pleasant part of painting watercolor is just to watch how it flows and mixes, and pick up your favorite colors, favorite paints for that. They can be bright today. Add some details, some color spots. The mix is still wet, so we can add very organically a nice graded wash we can create right now. But try not to paint too much inside, mostly around the edges. You can start to drag out the paints from the bold side just with the tip of the brush. I don't have extra paint on it, I just use what I have in my wash and some remains what's in the brush. So we setting up the future veins. Now we need to dry thoroughly the upper wings. To paint the bottom wings, I will dilute my turquoise cobalt, which is extremely bright and would be perfect for this purpose. And with very light, very diluted mix, I paint over the top wings. I try to distribute water in the wash very evenly, and I dry my brush with a paper towel. And the other wing, it's so cheerful colors today. I really enjoy it. Now let's switch the brush to a smaller one and add more contrast details. I will use turquoise. Again, a little bit more accent on the top of the wings. Just let it flow. Just let it flow. The purpose is to enjoy the process and create beautiful delicate washes. I think I would like to add just a small touch of the same purple just to balance. I will add some spot in the bottom of the wings and try to be more or less symmetrical with that, to place them at the same spots. And now we're just letting it all completely dry, and while we are doing that, let's paint the body. For the body I will use blue, my cobalt blue, relatively creamy. I will first go around eyes, like this. I don't have too much water on my brush, so I can go into details. Turquoise. I have Pyrrole orange. As usual, I have a lot of plates with some leftovers from different projects, so I'm just using them. And I can add very diluted bright orange mix into the body, but it will be just a part. Also a little bit on the head. It's all about painting details. It's nice if you have a brush which can make very fine tip or something like this. Body should feel heavier than the wings, so after you added a little bit of orange, you can shift to bolder and drier brush strokes. Also, I like to organize them with some spots, some white areas in between, because that create the texture. Now we need to paint this long tail. For this I would like to mix both orange, Pyrrole orange, and add some spots of blue, of ultramarine blue. I will load my other brush with cobalt blue. Just go with small little brush strokes around, just having fun how it all mixes. And if you want to paint with me watercolor more in depth, to learn watercolor in depth with me, I invite you to join my watercolor courses, and you will find link in the description for that. I like to paint the body a little bit longer than it is in the reality. Make sure that the wings are completely dry. Add one extra super diluted layer in between them, in this overlapping part. So we paint just this overlapping part to emphasize the transparency, to show how they overlapping. It's all about emphasizing. I have a lesson about painting a butterfly. It's about the same technique, but today I'm painting on cold press paper, which feels a bit different. Now see, with this extra layer it all pops up. You can leave it like this if you are not a fan of details, or you can go further on with me and add a little bit more of details. For the upper wings, I will take my purple. I prepare relatively creamy mix and I switch to a smaller brush, brush number 2. I hold my brush about 45 degrees to the paper and I do some very fine brush strokes. Firstly, around the top of the wing. But once I'm getting to the tips, I release the pressure and paint just with last millimeter of the hairy part of the brush. There is no need to paint all the details, all the veins, but it would be nice if you catch the general idea how they are distributed, what's the main direction of these veins. For example, there is small oval area and the veins are going a little bit down from here, like this, and a little bit more, like this. Always try to paint, you paint it a little bit on one side and then you paint about the same on the other side. That will help you to maintain the symmetry. It shouldn't be exactly precise, but it's nice when everything follows, so to say, the general idea. It's a little bit more complicated. I want to hold my hand so you can see better. I think I just do it from the opposite side, from tops, up, from tops and up, like this. Let's add details for the bottom wings. For the bottom wings, I will switch from purple to turquoise cobalt. And look how it is all organized on the reference. So firstly, lines, they meet at some point, then they goes down, long fine lines. Sometimes I see that my brush makes spots, doesn't touch the paper, and I find it very nice. It feels more free-handed painting, so I don't aim to paint all the details, just the idea. Very, very fine lines, very delicate. You can leave it like this, or you can seat your dragonfly on some grass. For example, start with the tip of the brush. A little bit more pressure next to the head. Then imagine how this grass goes underneath the body, like this, like this, like this. Now it comes out. Some corrections. Let's sit it on the grass a little bit more convenient. I want to make it a little bit loose at the bottom. And a little bit of this shiny part. Maybe one more grass around, but it's super loose. So what's not in our focus, we paint with just very brief brush strokes. Not really, don't need to pay too much attention to these parts, but they can add a little bit more dynamic to make your composition more interesting. So if you're up for more decorative painting, this is nice way to add details. And now our dragonfly is ready. Thank you so much for painting with me. I'm looking forward to know what would you like to paint next. And see you soon. Bye bye.